From one member of the Albanese government, let's go live to another. And in fact, the most senior Queenslander in the government is the Employment Minister, Murray Watt. He joins us. What's your read, Senator Watt, on the numbers you've seen so far?
Yeah, look, obviously they're very encouraging early results for Labor here in Queensland. I'm coming to you from the Miller election night party, where Mark Bailey looks very likely to hang on here, despite a big challenge from the Greens. We're very conscious, though, that there will be some big numbers coming in later in the night in pre-poll, and I would expect that Labor's position would come back from there. But look, you know, if you compare the results as they're currently standing to how we were looking a few weeks ago or a few months ago, it's very encouraging so far for Labor here in Queensland.
What do you put that down to? Is it all because of the campaign? Do you think it was the 50-cent fares, the TikTok? What was it?
Yeah, look, I think it's a few of those things, Kieran. There's no doubt that Stephen Miles and Labor comprehensively won this campaign week after week. They delivered, they turned up, they gave honest answers to questions, had a positive agenda for Queensland, and I think people saw that the more they saw David Crisafulli, the less they liked him. He came across as shifty and evasive, wouldn't answer straight questions. I do think that the 50-cent fares policy really cut through with people as an emblematic cost of living issue. Of course, the abortion debate, I think that caught a lot of people by surprise how big an issue that became. And again, it exposed the evasiveness of David Crisafulli and the LNP. So I think a lot of really good, strong local campaigns as well. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the inner city seats shape up here in Queensland. So far, we are holding ground against the Greens, and in fact, at the moment, we're leading in the seat of South Brisbane, which we lost to the Greens last time round. Now, again, you know, those figures can change as the night goes on, but I don't think we're going to see the kind of green slide that the Greens were boasting about weeks ago, and I think there's some real questions for their leadership in Canberra about the direction that they've been taking.
Andrew Clennell here. Now, don't stay up too late. You've got to be on Sunday Agenda in the morning. Don't forget about that. But I also wanted to ask...
I'll set my alarm, Andrew. Don't worry.
Do you? I hope so, because we need you on there. Do you have any hope of David Crisafulli not achieving a majority at this time of the evening?
Oh, look, I think... if you're a betting person, Andrew, I think you'd be still betting that the LNP will have a majority by the end of the night, especially once we see those pre-poll results come in. You know, I don't think it's guaranteed, though, on the figures that we're seeing at the moment. There are many seats that Labor thought were in danger, where we're still in there with primary votes above 40% and giving us a real chance. So, you know, seats like Barron River in Cairns, which I think most people thought was gone, we're holding our own there, and we're seeing that reflected across the state. But as I say, I think the most likely result is still a narrow win to the LNP. But as I say, you know, if you told us a few weeks ago or a few months ago that we'd be this competitive at this stage of the evening, I don't think many people would have believed that. So it's a great tribute to Stephen and the whole Queensland Labor team.
What lessons do you think you can learn federally, whether it be versus the Greens Party or, say, on an issue like women's reproductive rights, where we have heard federal members discussing that in recent days?
Yeah, I think we'll obviously have a good look at the Queensland election result, Kieran, to see the lessons that can be gained. But I think what we can see is that there are benefits in coming forward with a strong, bold agenda in the way that Stephen and Labor have done. I think recognising that there's a range of issues that people have concerns about and exposing some of the LNP's internal differences, some of their inherent conservatism on issues that they like to paper over. I mean, you saw in the last few days, once you saw Senator Jacinta Price make comments about abortion, some of her colleagues tried to shut that down straight away because they know that within their LNP ranks on a range of issues, there's quite extreme views. I think there's going to be some real questions going forward on the nuclear issue as well here in Queensland. If we do see David Crisafulli and the LNP win government here, of course we've got a massive conflict between federal and the state LNP. And I think Peter Dutton needs to learn that there is a price to be paid by not giving people straight answers in the way that he's continuing to refuse talking to people about the cost of nuclear power and a range of other issues there. David Crisafulli, I think, is paying a price for not being straight with people. But as I say, I think there's some lessons for us as well, the way we run our campaigns. The social media campaign run by Queensland Labor was the best I've ever seen. And as I say, putting forward some strong alternatives for both regional and outer suburban seats as well as inner city seats. That's the way Labor's got to go forward from here.